It's September 6, 2025. The South Florida Bulls have traveled to Gainesville, Florida to play the Florida Gators. Nico Grammatica lines up for a last-second field goal from the 20-yard line. The kick, straight down the middle. What should have been a gritty yet winnable game for Florida turned into an unprecedented upset, one that has called into question the security of Billy Napier's job. But this video isn't about Florida or Billy Napier. It's about the team from Tampa Bay. The team, who as of September 9th are ranked 18th in the AP poll. The fourth program in the AP poll era to start 2-0 with both wins coming against ranked opponents while being unranked themselves. A story that seemingly came out of nowhere, yet this group of five program has been building for decades. I'm Cobalt Productions, and this is that story. The idea of USF football began 32 years ago. In 1993, the school launched a $10 million campaign to fund the program. In 1995, the Florida Board of Regents approved it by a 13-1 vote. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneer Leroy Selman was named athletic director, giving the program credibility in its earliest days. By the end of 1995, Kansas State defensive coordinator Jim Leavitt was hired as the first head coach of the USF Bulls. The first practices began at Sycamore Fields, the same ground where their new stadium on campus is scheduled to open in 2027. USF's first game came on September 6, 1997. They beat Kentucky Wesleyan 80-3 at Tampa Stadium in front of nearly 50,000 fans. USF spent 3 years as an FCS independent and moved to FBS independent in 2001, followed by a move into Conference USA in 2003. In 2005, they joined the Big East and made an immediate impact with a 45-14 win over number 9 Louisville. 2007 marked the peak of Leavitt's tenure. They won on the road at number 13 Auburn. They beat number 5 West Virginia at home in a primetime fixture, and they climbed all the way to number 2 in the country. For a program barely a decade old, it was the unthinkable. Matt Grothe led the offense. George Selvey was an All-American pass rusher. Jason Pierre-Paul, who would go on to become a Super Bowl champion and Pro Bowler, made his mark here too. Leavitt finished with a 95-57 record and 3-2 mark in bowl games. He built USF from the ground up, taking them to heights no one could have expected in a decade. Leavitt's tenure ended in 2009 after allegations that he struck a player at halftime, which ultimately led to his dismissal. He later reached a $2.75 million settlement with the school over wrongful termination. The 2010s proved rocky for South Florida. Skip Holtz succeeded Leavitt, but never found the same success. In 3 seasons, he finished 16-21, with the only highlight being a bowl win over Clemson in 2010. In 2013, USF joined the American Athletic Conference under Willie Taggart. After back-to-back losing seasons by 2016, he had engineered a complete turnaround. That season was their winningest in school history. With quarterback Quentin Flowers and running back Marlon Mack, South Florida finished 11-2 and beat South Carolina in the Birmingham Bowl. Flowers was electric, throwing for 2,812 yards, rushing for 1,530, and accounting for 42 total touchdowns. Mack became the school's all-time leading rusher with 3,609 career yards. That duo carried USF back into national relevance. Taggart's final season in 2016 ended tied with Temple atop the American Athletic Conference East, but Temple held the tiebreaker. Even so, the Bulls capped the year with another bowl victory and double-digit wins. In December, Taggart left to take the Oregon job, leaving South Florida in far better shape than he found it. Charlie Strong took over to start the 2017 season, becoming the 4th head coach in South Florida history. He opened with a 10-2 record and a Birmingham Bowl win over Texas Tech. But in 2018, the wheels fell off. The Bulls started 7-0, but lost their final 6 games, including rivalry losses to UCF and a Gasparilla Bowl defeat against Marshall. In 2019, they went 4-8, and Charlie Strong was later dismissed. Jeff Scott, a former Clemson offensive coordinator, was then hired. His tenure was short and sour. In 3 years, he went 4-26, including a program record of a 52-0 loss to Notre Dame, followed by a 10-game losing streak from 2020 to 2021. By 2022, USF bottomed out with a 1-11 record, the worst in program history. By 2022, South Florida was at rock bottom, stripped of the identity it built in the mid-2000s. Crowds thinned, and the buzz was gone. The gap between the Bulls and the rest of the AAC only grew wider. What they needed wasn't just another coach, they needed a program builder. In December 2022, USF hired Alex Golesh, who had been the offensive coordinator and tight ends coach at Tennessee, where he helped to build one of the nation's most explosive offenses and was a Broyles Award finalist. His first season at USF came in 2023, and it ended with a 6-6 record and a statement 45-0 win over Syracuse in the Boca Raton Bowl, the largest shutout in bowl history. In 2024, the Bulls went 7-6, finishing their season with a 41-39 win in the Hawaii Bowl. This came over San Jose State. It was the longest bowl game ever played at 5 overtimes. By 2025, Golesh had a roster that could compete nationally. He brought in Chaz Nimrod from Tennessee, who's already emerged as a star, along with key pieces from Stanford, Wisconsin, and Texas A&M. At the same time, USF's 2026 recruiting class is ranked 54th nationally, proof that the program is building stability. The administration has been swift too. On September 9th, 2025, Brett McMurphy reported that Rob Higgins, longtime head of the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, had been hired as USF's new athletic director. A USF graduate and Tampa native, Higgins is a proven fundraiser and visionary, exactly the kind of partner a program builder like Golesh needs. Right now, the energy around Tampa feels different. Rumors already link Golesh to Florida if Billy Napier is fired, but he isn't talking about Gainesville. He's focused on Tampa, on building this program brick by brick, and on keeping this 2-0 start rolling all the way to a playoff berth. And the next test comes fast. This week, the Bulls play number 5 Miami, a showdown between two of the hottest teams in Florida. It's a statement game. You beat Miami, and USF would be more than a top 25 team. They climb into the top 10. They're a playoff contender, plain and simple. After the Florida win, Golesh told his players, quote, "There's going to be so many more people that are going to tell the players how good they are. But when you're process-driven, you go right back to work without worrying about the end result." That's not just talk. That's a coach keeping his team grounded while the hype builds around them. He's a guy with passion, and he will die for his team. South Florida football has seen everything in less than 3 decades. From the peak of number 2 in the country to 1-11 and rock bottom. They've produced stars like Jason Pierre-Paul, Marlon Mack, and Quentin Flowers. Now, Byron Brown and Chaz Nimrod are carrying that same torch. In 2 games, Brown has already thrown for 473 yards and added 109 more on the ground. Nimrod, the transfer from Tennessee, is averaging 20 yards a catch through 2 games and has been the go-to playmaker downfield. With the playoff expanding to 12 teams, the highest-ranked Group of 5 champion gets an automatic bid. USF is 2-0, ranked, and staring down a season where the American Athletic Conference title is within reach. A new stadium is coming in 2027, on the same fields where it all began. This program was born in 1997, and by 2025, it looks built for the playoff. If you're looking for the next big story in college football, this is the one to buy into. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.